Ripples on Open Water by Orphan Account on AO3. Episode 3. Chapter 3. Gasoline. Izuku, I'm worried about you. Izuku faced Mom, his hands in his hoodie pockets. Dread was a pit in his stomach that he couldn't get rid of. He was just his mother, but Izuku knew. She didn't want him to be a hero. She wanted to bury him in bubble wrap. You keep coming home after dark, and you're distant. And you took down all your All Might merch, and you just don't... Her hands falter slightly, and he eyed them nervously. He knew Mom would never hurt him, but the memory of swinging blows and explosive palms reside. You don't talk to me, Izuku. I'm just worried. He shifted his weight slightly. Why was he hesitating? It was a simple answer. I made a friend, and she's teaching me how to make support items. Mon relaxed considerably, a tiny smile appearing. You're not gonna be a hero? Of course, that's what she takes from it. I am, he says simply. But underground. I won't pass the entrance exam for heroic, so I can transfer from general education, support, or management. Management is off the list because I'm useless in that field, and gen ed is my fallback plan. It had been a few months since he met Mei. She said he was progressing pretty well and practically dragged him around the beach for scraps as she taught him how to build from scratch. All he had so far was an electric bow staff, beta version, that he was very uncoordinated with, a more durable phone case, and, well, he was working on something privately he would show to Mei today. It was Saturday, and she should be at the beach. He would meet her there in less than half an hour. Anyways, I'm gonna go out to meet her. Izuku told his mom, picking up the plastic bag with the alpha version support item in it. Love you. I'll be home at 8 or 9. She just looked forlornly after him as he left, closing the door firmly behind himself and not looking back. Mei waved enthusiastically, her hair a certain mess and soot stains all over her face and arms, save the cleaned bits where her gloves and goggles had likely been positioned. He huffed a laugh, rolling his eyes. Did you get any sleep? Nope. I've got a brand new baby to test with you in a bit. What's in the bag? He stepped back just in time to avoid her reaching arm, shaking his head. I'll show you, calm down. She settled a bit with a smirk, looking at Izuku expectantly. He rolled his eyes. From the bag, he pulled a set of goggles which he held out to Mei. She stared at it for a moment before taking it. They were a bronze color, with small green details on the edges. The glass was mirror-like, and he smiled nervously as she jumped them on. A manic smile came to her lips as she messed with the knobs on the side, and he watched with bated breath as it made some kind of annoying clink noises and shifted in and out. Slowly, she took it in. What'd you name her? Her voice was tense. Mei Vision? He mumbled. Mei looked at him. Yellow eyes blink. Then, Izuku? You're so sweet! She practically threw herself into his arms, hugging Izuku with a bone-breaking intensity, before releasing him and backing up a bit when he sniffled. She was pretty good at picking up his tails. Her eyes still shone, though. He managed a weak smile as he took the Mei vision from her dialecti. It's only an alpha model, and it's really chunky. I'm hoping when we get at UA I'll have better materials to improve it with instead of just, I don't know, letting it be Arctic? Mei stared at him, a slow smile spreading across her face. My parents are support tech designers. I have all kind of good materials at home. It took Izuku a moment. Then he gasped. You mean... I'll text you the address. Meet me there tomorrow. She promptly ignored the rest of his questions, instead showing off a new bomb drone design, a beta model. Now, Izuku, when you show off your design to people, especially judges, you need to make sure you do something insectra. They'll remember you better. Always start off the presentation with something interesting, like... Most people would call me batshit insane, and I'd have to agree. Powerloader and recovery girl stared at him, looking slightly off-put as he stood in front of them. He was slouching a bit, head inclined a bit, so he looked at them from the shadows of his bangs. Burn marks, for once, not from Katsuki, decorated his sleeves from where he assembled the item only minutes before. Most had cleaned up to look presentable, but he hadn't even bothered changing from his inventing clothes or to try to rinse the suit from his hair, which he had been growing out since he met Mei. Mostly because building took up so much time that he didn't have any to go to a hairdresser, and also because he wanted to see what he would look like. As it turned out, his hair is mostly black, not green. It was at his shoulders by now, pulled into a low ponytail with several strands loose, and in his face. In short, he was a mess and gave no fucks. After all, what kind of person walks into the equivalent of a job interview looking like a homeless kid? Or laughs when his support item explodes? Not one, not two, but 3 times in the hour we were given to assemble it. Or is completely quirkless and dares to try and be the first in UA? He definitely had their attention. Better good or bad. He set the blueprint on the table, unrolling it and showing the rather convoluted design before setting a pair of bronze goggles on the top of it. They were similar to that of Eraserheads in the shape and size, but the glass was a one-way mirror instead of a slotted. He grinned. This is Mei Vision, inspired by a close friend of mine. Her quirk, Zoom, allows her to see up to 5 kilometers away, like Leon's but less cool. The Mei Vision can zoom up to 1 kilometer away in its current model, and it also has a night vision, heat vision, and motion sensors. Mei Vision is best utilized by underground heroes like Mist and Eraserhead, or by rescue heroes like 13 or Sonar. The different sensors can seek out targets or victims and aid the heroes in their work. He simply leaves the model and blueprint on the table and exits without another word. Why waste words when you've already made your points? Okay, I love this chapter. I love this. I also do like the way he presented it. Obviously, there is drawbacks to presenting it that way. It could backfire, right? Or it could be good. I would say do a mixture. Still have Izuku look presentable, I guess? But maybe, I don't know. It does make him stand out from the crowd. And unless it's not like a job interview, he's just presenting his item, and they're not judging him, they're judging his item. Therefore, in this instance, I think it would pass. Because what they're judging is not Izuku, at least not at the time being. At that moment, they're not judging Izuku. They're judging his talents in making that design. And maybe a little bit on presentation, but I do not think that it is a high quality, high value. I don't think just because you presented it amazingly, but your item didn't work, you're not gonna get let in. If your item worked amazing and you made an amazing prototype or an amazing finished product in that 1 hour you had, I don't know, did they have 1 hour? I don't remember what it said. In that couple hours you had, your presentation was shit, but you made the most brilliant thing, they're gonna let you in. Because they're not basing off of presentation, they're basing off of the item, which is different from job interviews. Job interviews, you are being judged by your presentation. In this instance, you are not being judged by your presentation, you are being judged by your portfolio, right? Obviously, you still need to look quote-unquote professional for a lot of things because you need to be taken seriously. But personally, if I was looking at someone's portfolio and they were explaining it to me, I would rather, even if the presentation wasn't necessarily professional and it was a little more out of the blue and stuff like that, it would definitely catch my attention. And especially if it has to do about creative works, because believe it or not, this has to do with creative works. You have to have some sort of creativity to be able to make, not only, it's one thing for a support course person or a support maker, support gear maker, to be able to make the things, like have heroes come to them and be like, hey, I need something like this, and then you make it for them. It's another thing for you to be able to be like, oh, I know what you need. You need this. Here's this. Here's that. Oh, you said you wanted that, but you know you would also benefit with that, so let me add this here. Kind of situations where that also is a plus. It's a benefit. So creativity is very much a thing that needs to be presented. But for the most part, what I think they're really, really being judged on is it's their gadgets that they make. It's not them, it's their gadgets, right? It's their intelligence to be able to make such a thing in such a short amount of time. And not even just like, they don't expect perfection, obviously, probably not. But they expect to see something, you know? I don't know. I did like it. It was really cute. It was really fun. Chapter 4 is These Streets. Summary. Izuku gets a new accessory, and UA term starts. So I think he is going to, you know, maybe get into the support course. Hopefully. Was it? Hold up, one of the tags. Let me look at the tags. I think I read support course Izuku. Support Department Izuku Midoriya. Yeah. So he gets into the support course. He probably did try out for the heroics. Maybe he did. Maybe a part of him was like, let me try out. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I think he didn't though. I think he genuinely just tried out for the support. And if he didn't make support, he would then go into Gen Ed. And then if he didn't make Gen Ed, well then tough shit because he's really bad at management. Tough shit. Eat shit. Whatever. Sorry. I don't have much to say. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. And, did I mention I'm tired and sleepy? Okay, moving on. Point taken is, so far, I'm really, really liking Ripples on Deep Water. It is really cool. I'm really liking it. I'm really liking the names of the chapters so far. I didn't really get, the next one. Gasoline, I know it's a song by Hazy. This one, I don't think it states what song it's by. Oh, okay. I don't know that person. But These Streets is also another song. I don't know that one, so I don't really recognize it or can tell you if it fits the chapter or not. I haven't even read the chapter. I can't even predict what it's gonna be. The Hazy song, I also have never listened to it either, so. Yeah, I've seen it, but I've never listened to it. Which is shocking. I like Hazy. Anyways, there's not much to say. I'm just gonna, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.